The spring that swallowed a kingdom. I can still hear Eleanor Hargrove's voice slicing through the morning mist like a chainsaw through butter. She was perched on an upside-down plastic lawn chair in her go-doffel neon pink blazer, the kind that screams, "I'm in charge," jabbing one French-tipped finger at the limestone pool bubbling up from my ridge. "That little mud puddle of yours is a public nuisance, Harlan Whitaker," she snarled. "You're hoarding water that belongs to the whole community." I didn't even look up from my pH meter. 15 years with the EPA had taught me that people like Eleanor mistook volume for authority. The spring pushed out 3,200 gallons a day of water, so pure it made Evian taste like tap sludge. "This puddle," I said calmly, "puts municipal water to shame. 0 contaminants. pH of 7.2. You'd weep if you knew what your subdivision's paying for." She laughed, that high, brittle cackle that echoed off the hills. "Enjoy it while it lasts, hillbilly. Things are about to change." She had no idea. Exactly 72 hours later, her $500,000 backyard would be a personal swamp. My name's Harlan Whitaker, and I grew up in the hollers of eastern Kentucky, where land isn't just dirt, it's blood and bone. When my great-great-grandfather claimed this 12-acre ridge in 1896, he didn't just get the topsoil. The deed spelled it out in faded ink, including all natural springs, streams, and underground water sources. In perpetuity, that last word, it's federal kryptonite to developers. I'd retired from the EPA 2 years back, burned out on politicians gutting clean water rules for campaign cash. This place was my reset button. Mornings mint black coffee on the wraparound porch, watching the spring gurgle like it had since the last ice age. I'd rigged sensors everywhere, flow rates, turbidity, mineral profiles, feeding data to my laptop. It was therapy, turning numbers into stories about aquifers older than the hills. Across the valley sat Crestview Estates, a $200 million monument to fake it till you make it luxury. Identical colonnades, imported Italian fountains, lawns greener than a politician's promises thanks to 24/7 sprinklers. Eleanor ruled it like a feudal baroness, HOA president for 8 years running. What I didn't know then was she'd been eyeing my spring for 2 full years. She'd already inked deals with Vanguard Properties for a $15 million expansion, Springridge Manor, 50 luxury homes marketed on exclusive pristine Springwater. Problem was, she didn't own the water. Never would. The first shot fired arrived via certified mail on a drizzly Tuesday. Crestview Homeowners Association letterhead, all gold embossed and official-looking. Violation notice. Unauthorized water retention system. It cited environmental hazards and some made-up HOA bylaw about watershed management. I laughed so hard I spilled my coffee. My deed predated their subdivision by 82 years. I wasn't even in their precious association. But Eleanor wasn't playing checkers. She was after my breaking point. It started subtle, like termites in a beam. One morning, I noticed the old barbed wire fence between my ridge and her back lot had shifted. Not much, just 6 inches onto my side. A month later, another 6. I grabbed my GPS unit and mapped it. Over 2 years, she'd stolen a 1/4 acre in postage stamp increments. Worse, she'd been snapping violation photos from my side of the line. Digital metadata doesn't lie. Every timestamp and geotag screamed trespassing. Then the isolation campaign kicked in. FedEx drivers started dumping packages at the county road, claiming my driveway was flagged hazardous. The mail carrier, good old Otis who'd delivered my whole life, wouldn't come past the cattle guard anymore. "Eleanor's got the whole route convinced you're running a meth lab up here," he muttered, handing over a stack of bills. Lawn guys quoted me triple. The sweet widow next door, Mrs. Jenkins, cornered me by the mailbox one evening. "Harlan, honey, folks are saying you're poisoning the groundwater with chemicals." Her eyes darted toward Crestview. Eleanor had poisoned the well of neighborly trust. I documented it all, photos, recordings, timestamps. Former EPA guys don't fight fair, we fight smart. The real gut punch came at the county clerk's office. I'd filed for a restraining order against further encroachments, but the clerk, a no-nonsense gal named Betty who'd processed every divorce in 3 counties, shook her head. "Wrong affidavit form, Harlan. Gotta refile by 5 p.m. tomorrow, or it's 30 days till the next docket." 30 days. Eleanor was ramping up. I'd spotted survey crews on her side of the ridge that morning, stakes marking what looked like diversion pipes aimed straight at my spring. I was grinding my teeth in the parking lot when an old-timer in overalls and a John Deere cap shuffled up. "Water rights giving you fits, son?" His voice had that Appalachian gravel, wise as the hills. I sized him up, 70 if a day, hands like old leather. "You look like you know a thing or two." He grinned, missing a molar. "Check Section 4.7 of the 1924 Water Conservation Act. Might save your bacon." He handed me a dog-eared business card, Josiah Tate, ESQ. Read, and vanished into a rusted F-150. That night, buried in legal archives till 3 a.m., I found it. Dusty as statute on the books, but ironclad. Any spring predating local development by 50 years got blanket federal protection. Mine? Pre-colonial. Untouchable. The smoking gun landed in my inbox at 2:47 a.m., forwarded by a guilty conscience HOA board member. Eleanor's emails laid it bare. 2. Vanguard exec team, the Whitaker Spring is the final piece. $15 million wired upon exclusive rights transfer. Board member, what if he won't sell? Eleanor, then we make his life hell until he does. Everyone breaks eventually. Attachments, contracts, marketing renders for Springridge Manor, your private oasis, pure spring water delivered to every tap, and bank wires. $50,000 a month from Vanguard to Hargrove Consulting. She'd sold the dream before owning the water. Her big reveal was the Crestview community meeting, catered, with PowerPoint slides that could have come from Madison Avenue. Eleanor strutted in that pink blazer, laser pointer in hand. Uncontrolled upstream extraction endangers us all. Drone footage circled my spring in blood red. I let her cook for 10 minutes, neighbors murmuring agreement. Then I stood. "Mrs. Hargrove, mind explaining why those photos were taken on my property?" Silence. I jacked into the projector. Her bank records replaced the maps. The room exploded. "You used my dues for this?" a plumber yelled. "What happens to our property values when $3 million homes flood the market next door?" a realtor demanded. Eleanor stammered, face purpling. Phones captured every second. By morning, it was viral in 3 counties. She doubled down. County inspectors, her cousins, demanded entry for mosquito violations. No warrant. I recorded it. Then my insurance canceled. Contamination risks. The photos? Rain barrels, geotagged to her IP. The coup de grace. My cameras sabotaged at 2:47 a.m. County traffic cams caught her white Escalade, plates clear as day. I called my old EPA boss, Dr. Margaret Ellison. Federal protection order. Now. She didn't hesitate. Marshals by noon tomorrow. The courthouse steps the next day felt like high noon in an old western. Federal attorneys in crisp suits. Eleanor in her pink armor, local reporters buzzing. Judge Harlan Caldwell, no relation, didn't mince words. Attempting to bully federal water rights? That's a Clean Water Act felony. Eleanor got 18 months in a low-security camp in Beckley, West Virginia. $2.4 million restitution. Vanguard's project seized, their execs facing fraud charges. Crestview's property values tanked 15% overnight. Josiah Tate was waiting by the spring when I got home, that old photo in hand. Him and my granddaddy, 1952, arms around each other by the same pool. "Your papa hired me to guard this water," he said. New developers would come sniffing one day. Today, the spring flows stronger than ever. Crestview's new HOA president, a straight shooter named Clara, pays me to consult on rainwater harvesting. Kids from the subdivision do science projects here, measuring flow like it's the most natural thing. Eleanor? She's flipping houses in Florida, banned for life from any HOA board. Last I heard, her pool's got algae problems. Water finds its level, folks. And justice? It soaks the wicked eventually. Ever had some busybody with a title try to steal what's yours through 1,000 little cuts? Or watched petty power implode on live TV? Spill it in the comments, especially if you felt that slow burn injustice of bureaucracy grinding down regular folks. What's your line in the sand?